on the camera. We'll go at 3 minutes.
Okay.
We'll talk about lines. You want to go talk about lines first? And then we can talk about their lines, talk about our lines. When we get to Tommy, we'll mention, or once we wrap up lines, we'll talk about Tommy's.
Yeah.
All right.
Although I feel like
Hello and welcome to the Southern Hockey Network. My name is Gavin Coker. I'm joined by Noah Gabryluk. We have an exciting matchup as this is the second game of the weekend for the Mocs and also the USF Ice Bulls. Noah, what are we looking at today with these two teams on the ice?
Well, USF coming off of a tough loss last night against the University of Tampa M2, and that's something that's kind of out of character for them. They've been really great all season long, and that's just something they want to bounce back from and have a good game here in Lakeland. And for Florida Southern, just building off that momentum of last night, late night in Jacksonville, a third period comeback victory, and they just want to try and keep this a game. Obviously, the last matchup between these two teams was not the greatest for Florida Southern, but anything can happen. We've seen that in previous years with Florida Southern, so if they can just keep this a game, we could see a good matchup here tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Not as such a great performance by the Mocs, but that was also the first game of the season. You had a lot of new faces in the lineup in that first game, so some of these guys have gotten their legs under them. I expect this one to be a little bit more of a competitive game between the two sides. But let's talk about the US Ice Bulls starting lines.
Yeah, and looking at first line here, we've got Curran Duhame. Yeah, Curran Duhame and Koenigsmark, excuse me. And and just looking at that, Jacob Duhame, we've talked about him a lot, and a lot of the league has talked about him a lot as well. He's going to be one of the top guys for this Ice Bulls team, and expect the offense to run through him tonight. And going back into the goal as well, Christian Koch in net, and he got a shutout win. Or sorry, Ryan Koch, excuse me. Yeah, it was a late night last night in Jacksonville, but Ryan Koch getting the shutout victory last time these two teams met, and we're going to look to him to be a backstopper here for the Ice Bulls.
Yeah, one guy we've got to talk about in this matchup is Tommy Cabral. He is now the Mocs' all-time leader in games played. He passed Matthew Frommer tonight with this game. This will be his 84th game. He's lined up on defense today. So congratulations to Tommy, a senior, great leader for this team. And you got the opportunity to play with Tommy. How was that experience for you?
Yeah, he is a fantastic teammate. He's just for the guys, and you can see that. And yeah, he's just been an all-around great guy. And it's awesome to see him playing for this long, playing all 4 years. It's great to see him hold this record.
Yeah, like you mentioned it, great guy for the team, willing to play whatever position, forward, defense. Last night he was forward, tonight he's on defense. So dude willing to do it all. Gotten to talk to him a couple times, and he's just for the guys. Whatever needs to be done, he's the guy who's going to get it done. So you look for an exciting matchup, and what an honor for Tommy to get to play his 84th game, which leads the team, like we mentioned, all times in games played.
Yeah, and that's something the coach likes too, being able to put a guy anywhere and have an impact out on the ice. So it looks like we're getting ready for the national anthem here.
Yeah, both teams will get set to line on their blue lines, and we're going to get starting lineups. We mentioned it, Simonian, late night in Jacksonville, played a full 60, and he's playing today, and we'll step away for the national anthem. And we are ready for hockey here at Lakeland Ice Arena. As both teams will head back to their benches and both teams will slide in for the opening face-off. And, you know, we've talked about it. We're going to see both teams' top lines out here. FSC going with the Marshall, White, and Izzo line, who had a great game yesterday. Got a little bit of a slower start. We mentioned it. Probably 3 hours on the bus will do that. They got their legs underneath them, though, in the third period, and ultimately put on a strong performance, which led to that comeback victory.
Yeah, and I think they were all over the ice, and they were generating scoring chances off of the rush really well. I think we saw some 3-on-2s where every guy touched the puck before getting a shot off, and that's a testament to the chemistry that these three forwards have. And Coach Gilles Richard's going to stick with them tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned it, the chemistry, the passing. That's what we're going to need to see tonight against a formidable team. Ice Bulls are 4th in the ACHA ranking, so a tough matchup tonight for the Mocs. As we get set, Duhame versus Marshall. The puck is dropped. The Mocs win that one on what looked like a tie-up. Burkhart came away with it, kicked it to the far boards, got it to Izzo, who kicks it across the wide and just outside of his reach. Packed pass into the slot. No one there, but Marshall with it on the turnover back to Burkhart at the point. Wide into Marshall. Marshall trying to get a shot. He got his stick tied up, still battling for the puck. Ice Bulls do come away with it, and they'll send it up the boards to Burkhart, and Burkhart sends it back down. Slowing it down is Lee, and he'll send it up the boards, and that one goes off a stick and goes down towards Simonian, so no icing. Burkhart bat for it. Has Catazone for the D pairing today. Sent around the boards by Izzo. Wyden's there along the boards. Curran was pressing on him. Izzo now has it. Had it knocked off his stick again by Curran on the back check. Izzo takes it away in the offensive zone. Has it back behind. Gets it to Marshall. A shot. And that one looks like it got off the pad of Coach. Now Wyden with it. He'll chip it around the boards. Marshall waiting for it. Had it bounce over his stick. And he'll give a big shove along the boards on Curran there. But he'll take it up through the neutral zone. He's got the pass. A shot, and that one's blocked by Burkhart. And now left for Tommy Cabral.
Yeah, that was a good first shift there from that USF top line. Good fast-moving forwards there and trying to generate some scoring chances there as well.
And now Mox putting some pressure as Rice takes a sharp-angled shot. And Koch just made a good save on that one, and Mullen flips it in. He's on the right side of the red line, and we're going to get a whistle as Koch is just going to cover that one up with Rice pushing in on him.
Good start here for both teams. Chances on either side. And Florida Southern getting in on the forecheck. We saw Izzo taking that puck away and finding Marshall in a small window there and a good scoring opportunity.
Now Bryson Urig with some speed gets around Mullen. He was forced out wide as that one was off, and he tries a sharp-angled shot. Hits the side of the net. Still back behind the net, and now Mullen sends it up to Cole Dubois. Dubois chips it around for Williams, and now Williams and Cole Dubois skating it up. Williams a shot, and that one's saved by Koch. It goes out to the near side boards. Now skating up with it are the Ice Bulls, trying to go wide. Goes wide. Simonian with a save and another shot, and he makes another save on Urig. Good opportunity there by Max Mudge. Puck sent around the board by the Mocs, but Urig comes away with it and now gets it to Mudge. And now it's back to the blue line, a shot, and that one goes off a stick of Fleers. He tried to redirect that one, but it ultimately went wide. Mocs have it along the near board. They'll send it across. Nicholson was switching and wasn't able to get on that one. And now Mudge has it with Fleer. Mudge now, he'll set up for a shot, and he scores! Mudge firing a wrister into the top right corner. Simonian just didn't even have a chance.
Yeah, kind of a moving screen in front of Simonian, but Mudge just slowing things down, finding open space kind of in the top of the slot, and we could see it from a perfect angle. He picks his spot over the glove of Simonian, and the Ice Bulls take the early 1-0 lead.
And Mudge is a threat to score every time he's on the ice, averaging more than a point per game for the Ice Bulls. Mocs win that face-off. Sent up the boards. That top line out there, Izzo. And Koch's going to make the save. Marshall taking a little shove there as he iced the goalie just a little bit. Maybe he was just trying to cool him off.
Yeah, I mean, he was trying to get out of the way, too. It's just the physics of the ice when you're just trying to slow down. I'm sure he didn't mean it.
As Marshall's going to slide in once again for the faceoff. USF comes away with possession. They flip it out of the zone, and now a 2-on-1. Burkhart's back a shot, and that one goes wide. It comes about to the neutral zone. Marshall with a good backhand pass has Izzo. Izzo with a shot, and that one goes over the net. Hits the glass. And now Wyden has it. He'll just flip it back in. That one hits Izzo. Was to offsides, and now we're going to get a whistle.
Yeah, a bit of a late one there from the linesman. That dump in hit Izzo, and he didn't realize it, but that is offsides.
Yeah, I thought he was just going to let it go, but then Wyden touches the puck, and now the faceoff's going to come out to center ice. As that second line gets out there of Rice, Dubois, and Caden Williams. USF flips that faceoff back, but Burkhart able to keep that. And that one goes up into the netting just along the near side here. Almost got a souvenir. So faceoff's going to come right outside of the Ice Bull zone. Rice in for this draw. Much better job on the faceoff dot tonight already by the Mocs.
Yeah, and that's something you were talking about last night, and Mocs are losing a lot of possession time due to the faceoffs. And it's nice to see maybe just something click between yesterday and today, and Mocs are doing way better in the dot tonight.
Yeah, and Fliss was making some good moves in the zone, and big hit there as Fliss and Rice made a little bit of connection. So we're going to see some physicality for sure in this game. These are two teams that see each other quite a bit. And, you know, the Mocs, we mentioned it, had a sloppy game at the start of the year. They're looking to get some redemption and a battle there. That was Tom Pekov and Rice battling there. And now sent up the boards by Cole Dubois. A little hit on the backside there in Catazone. Now skating it down low is Fliss. And some more physicality. And now Izzo has it, gets it across to Marshall, and Marshall's going to settle it down and didn't get the touch he wanted to skate it up with the speed. But now he's going near side board with some speed, a shot, and Koch going to make the save.
Yeah, and going back to just the nature of this matchup, obviously both teams have in the back of their head the result of last time, and we talked about it. It can go either way, but I think USF in the back of their head, they're like, we know how badly we can beat this team, and you know, we want to try and do this again, but Florida Southern just wants to just kind of weather that storm a little bit.
Yeah, and this would be a big matchup for Florida Southern, who took a two-game series loss to FAU last weekend, and that kind of hurt them in the playoffs rankings. But you can imagine a win against number 4 would definitely help the rankings, potentially put them back into what could be the playoff conversation. So a big matchup for the Mocs.
Absolutely, and you know, you never want to say like the season's over or anything like that, and just having that mindset is what's important here.
As USF with the puck, good passing. As they're skating it through the zone. Duhaime down low in the slot, redirected. Almost found top right corner, but just went a little wide there. And it's skated back around. That was Mullen. He sent it up the board, but USF able to keep it in. Duhaime now kicks it to the slot, a shot, and no goal. That one was dangerous, barely missed. Went just above the top crossbar. And now Wyden with the puck. He shoots off Koch's pad. Another shot, another save by Koch. Puck still loose. Wyden tried to get it around, and Koch is finally going to find it, and he'll cover that one up.
That was a perfect pass-off pad by Colton Wyden. And Izzo, he leaned into that one, but Koch was there, able to get back to it. Probably not the rebound that he wanted to pop out in front, but the USF Bulls collapsing in on him and preventing any further scoring chances.
Yeah, and Koch's a strong goalie. You definitely have to get him moving side to side, and that's what those rebound shots are going to do for the Mocs. So they need to look for more of those as they win the faceoff. Third line out there is Oaken wins that draw. And now USF takes it away and has the puck. Oaken battling. And now a shot. A pass. Looking for a redirect. Mocs trying to get it out of their zone. USF keeps it in. Fleer along the board. We apologize for the obstruction in the cameras. There's a battle in the corner. USF comes away with it. Out at the blue line, a shot bounces off of a Mock skate. Now Oaken battling in the corner. Nicholson delivers a check. Shot pass there. Yurig got the redirection on it, but Simonian able to get his pads down. And a quick shot fired in by Preston Miller. Koch just making an easy save, and now USF with the puck. They're going to move it up the near side boards. Mudge with it. Kicks it to Fleer. Fleer settling it down along the blue line, and he's pressured by Burkhart, and that one comes out, and now Nicholson skating after the puck. Keller there. Keller and Nicholson battling down low. Nicholson's going to skate back. Now Burkhart flips the puck into the USF zone, and no icing as he was on the right side of the red line there. USF now skating it up in their own zone, slowing it down, looking for a pass. Heller flips it up, and that one was played offside for a second, and now Rice has it. He'll fire it in on Koch, and they're going to chase after it. Rice ultimately turned it over as Dubois skated over it, and now Mudge skating in with some speed. He's down low, tries to fire a sharp-angled shot, and that one ends up in the netting. Some good pace of play there, Noah.
Yeah, and I think from what we've seen here in this first 8 minutes or so, we've seen what's kind of working for both teams. USF getting the puck from low to high and getting shots on net. They're getting guys to the net, and they're finding a lot of redirections as we've seen. And Florida Southern, we've seen them dumping the puck in and going and getting it, and they've been able to create chances of their own off of those.
And they win the faceoff there and flip that one out to neutral ice, making the Bulls reset, and that one's sent in. Burkhart back for it. He'll send it around the boards. USF Ice Bull waiting there along with Michael Izzo. And now Marshall's going to take that one off the boards. He flips it up, but not out. Shot back in, redirected right into Simonian, and we're going to get a whistle here with 11:47.
Oh, looks like it just got out of the blue line on DeRasp. And I don't blame him. The blue lines, you can't really see them, so you can't blame him for letting that puck go out.
Yeah, it's definitely a little tough to see them here, so a late call there by the refs. Bogdanov and Marshall were battling for that draw. USF comes away with it. And now they'll send it up along the near side board. A good touch pass. And a good job defensively by Catazone, tying up the stick of Bogdanov, who had a dangerous opportunity there. Now back to Bogdanov, a little touch pass there. That was Sholiva, and he avoided a check, and that one's up into the rafters and lands on the Mocs bench. Trying to see who's down reaching for that puck as it landed right in his lap, and he hands it back to the ref.
Yeah, Marshall didn't really have any options there. He was drifting back into his own zone. Needs someone to just pop out, give him an option. He was forced to just kind of turn away and try and do it himself, but he needs some support kind of breaking out of their own zone.
As this one comes out to the blue line, a shot, Simonian makes a save. Looked like a slight redirection. That one's flipped down. Cabral tried to get it with the glove and ultimately comes back behind Simonian. He'll send it around the boards. Williams is there for the Mocs. Tried to get it out, can't. Kept in by the Ice Bulls. Down low, passing out to the point. A shot! Simonian makes a save. Still in the zone, but bounces off of the stick there of Ott as he was falling down. Ice Bulls are able to get possession, and now Rice with it. He tries to fire it in deep. That one fired in on Coke by Rice, and he'll make the save.
Yeah, a little bit shaky with the glove there for Coach. But Hunter Rice does have a hard shot. So he'll do that to you sometimes, but he's able to cover it up and find it.
So face-off's going to be in the USF zone. Marshall's in there for the Mocs. They win that as he was against Duhame. And now Burkhart with it fires a shot. That one bounces off of Izzo. Izzo tried to play it down, but it bounced off of his stick, and now Duhame up with it. And this is the line that was able to score the only goal in the M2 loss to Tampa. We mentioned Grant Dietz was sitting in that one, also not playing tonight. Is now Wyden along the near side boards. And a little pushing and shoving there with Ott. Sent around the boards for Curran. Bounces out of the zone. Duhame able to find it eventually. And now he's got a break. He shoots, and Simonian makes a save. And a good job by Wyden pushing that one into Simonian. And right there, Koenig's mark was giving a little tap to Simonian. So little pushing and shoving there by Izzo, letting him know not to touch the goalie. And we know that's one of the golden rules. Don't touch the goalie. You're going to meet some interference every time you do.
Yeah, and that was a good 2-on-1 from USF. Duhame was kind of trying to reach for that puck, and as soon as he gave it away, he just bolted right towards the net, and he ended up getting it with speed and got a good shot off.
Now a battle on the near side boards. Koenig's mark now has it. He drops it back for Curran. Across to Duhame. A shot, and Simonian making the save.
Did he get that with the glove?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he got that with the glove or if that went up into the netting. Looked like he went for it with the glove. I didn't see him hand it off, so I'm not quite sure where that one ended up. But regardless, a good save by Simonian getting across there on a dangerous opportunity.
Yeah, and great puck movement from USF, generating that opportunity. But Simonian, he can have those big saves. So we still move on. No score there for the Ice Bulls.
As Koenig's mark fires that one, trying to catch Duhame in the low slot. And now Nicholson for the Mocs. He'll flip it up. Vecchione and Tillman this line out there for the first time. And a big hit. Looks like two Mocs ran into each other there. And now Duhame with the puck. That one gets lost in the skate of a couple Mocs. And now Curran has it. And this line is dangerous. They've had good opportunities so far. And that one's passing to the low slot. And shot. That one goes wide. That was Cooper. And now the Mocs with it. Walter skating it up from the D position. He flips it in weakly. That goes in on Koch. He'll play it out wide. Walter in on the forecheck. USF playing it around their own zone. Cross ice pass. Mudge was there and wasn't able to get a stick on that, so he had to skate it around. Donnelly checks Mudge along the boards. Rice out there battling now. He'll come away with it. Try to flip it out of the zone and can't. Now Mudge with it. He'll take it away. A shot pass into the slot. Williams now with it. Skating through the neutral zone. On his backhand. Gets it to Rice and sent across to the far side boards by the Ice Bulls. Puck almost kept in by Cabral, but Mudge able to get that one around him. Mullen recovering. Does a good job there defensively to keep Mudge to the outside as they get the clear out of the zone.
USF, we've seen them trying to make plays into the middle of the ice, but the Mocs have done a really great job. As soon as that puck starts to go towards someone from USF in the slot, they're there on that puck and clearing it.
Another shot by Mudge. And Uric had an opportunity as Simonian was out of position. Didn't get enough on that one. Simonian making a save there.
Yeah, great sticks here defensively from Florida Southern. USF probably could have had 3 or 4 goals off of these last couple of minutes, but like I said, Florida Southern getting sticks on sticks, and they're playing a really nice game so far.
Yeah, good defensively clogging the lane. You mentioned it, sticks on sticks as USF wins that faceoff. Uric sends it around the boards. Catazone chasing after, and he'll send it around to Izzo, and now they have some time. He kicks across ice to Wyden. Wyden chips it around, and he's going to get into the zone. He has it. He has Marshall with him. and tried to get the pass, but couldn't. Now Catazone with the shot, and that one's blocked off of a bull there. Down low for Izzo. He'll send it around to Wyden. Wyden tried to get it out to Marshall at the point. Marshall battling in the zone, and he's going to lay a big hit there on Mudge, and now Uric skating it up. Drop pass. Taking his time, he shoots, and that one looks like it got past Simonian, but just went through the crease. Tough angle there. Now Marshall with Izzo and Wyden. Izzo kicks it across. Now Wyden has it. Wyden to Marshall. And Koch gets a pad on that one. Sends it out wide. Burkhart fires it, and Koch getting the save.
Wow, what a shift here from this top line in Florida Southern. Using their speed. We didn't really mention it too much last night, but we have earlier in the season. Their speed is one of their best weapons, and Colton Wyden using it to generate the 2-on-1. And yeah, just back and forth play, but the great play by John Heller on D for USF, negating that chance from that 2-on-1 with Marshall and Wyden.
And now you want to see a big shift from the second line. A lot of momentum for the Mocs. If they can get a big shift rolling, they could potentially put the puck in the back of the net. So, and this is the line to do it. Rice was a spark plug yesterday in the win, and we're looking for more of that from him tonight as that one's sent back around the boards for Burkhart. Burkhart checked along the board and laying some hits there, trying to get a pass out in front there, but nobody home as Rice did a good job getting on one knee. Sent around the boards by USF, Bogdanov. He got around to Shaliva. And then it comes out around the boards. Dubois battling for it. Still battling. It comes out to the point. Shot doesn't get home as the Mock was able to get a stick on that. I think that was Burkhart. Williams, Catazone, and Dubois will go off. So Mox will get a change. Wyden, Rice, and Marshall out there. So we're seeing some different lines. Marshall getting one shift off, one shift on. Now taken up the boards by USF. Marshall there defensively, trying to get a pass, but it goes off of Marshall's ankle there. And he's battling down low with Fliss, a little pushing and shoving there. USF now has it. And a blown tire there, and now Wyden has Izzo, and they've got some speed of 2-on-1. Wyden with a shot, and Koch sizing that one up. That one goes off the shoulder. And now USF back the other way. Some good passing. Dangerous shot. That one goes wide. Sent back out of the zone by Wyden. Not going to be enough for icing as that one slows down. Now Izzo in on the forecheck. Lee with the puck. He's moving it up. He's pressured by Williams, but ultimately do get it inside. Fliss had it, knocked off his stick, and now Izzo flips it out to neutral ice. Wyden got his stick on it, trying to get Marshall, who's sitting along the USF blue line, still battling for it in the neutral zone. USF will flip it into the mock zone, and now Cabral has it. Williams comes away with the puck, took a second, tried to flip it out, not able to get it out, shot onto Simone, and he makes a save, and that one goes out to the corner. That was Tom Pakov. Still battling for it, and now Marshall's going to come away with it. He's skating it up with some speed. Has Cabral back, cuts back, and loses the puck. Good move there by Marshall. Marshall kicks it out to Dubois. Dubois tried to fire it. Looks like he didn't get it, but he gets it down to Marshall. Marshall down low. He has it taken off his stick. Bulls will slow it down.
Yeah, John Heller playing Marshall really well. Couple of chances from Marshall, and Heller's been all over him. Playing the body, stick on stick. Great defensive effort.
And it's a little weird. We've seen Marshall have a little bit more space. JU kind of took him out of the game for a while. A shot by USF, and they score. Putting that one in the back of the net was Konigsmark. And we mentioned it, that line yesterday was effective, and they've got a goal on the board here in this one.
Yeah, and that's just a quick catch and release. And Simonian, he got over there, but just Koenigsmark found that hole under the arm, and that's just a perfect shot. USF leads 2-0.
Yeah, that was a long stretch of play without a whistle, almost 9 minutes. So good pace of play in this one. Both teams with opportunity. Mocs by no means are out of this one. They've had the opportunities. They've just got to find a way to beat Coke. As USF's moving it up, trying to get a third on the day. Now Curran has it on the backhand. Got it to Duham, who had his stick tied up and was not able to get a shot away. O'Mara flipped it up to Nicholson. Nicholson battling for it. USF does get it up. As Koenigsmark's to Curran. Curran to Koenigsmark's with a shot. And a good save by Simonian, and he was tracking that one and able to get across. Curran has it down low. Still danger. Koenigsmark almost had it on his stick, but didn't.
Yeah, it was a great stick lift from John Burkhart as that puck was coming towards Koenigsmark.
Now Koenigsmark with Duham. Coke was trying to get them sprung as the Mocs were changing and just fanned on it a little bit. Bryson Urig with a shot. And Simonian gets that one with the glove. That one was going wide, but Simonian just getting a cover, trying to slow it down. You know, the Mocs had some good pace of play, but every once in a while you want to slow it down, get a breather, and really talk with your team and try to get a set play going.
Yeah, and USF was getting some extended offensive zone time within the last minute or so, and it's important to get that whistle and get fresh legs out there and just reset.
As USF wins that one, Urig sends that one back around. Donnelly and Mullen out there. A lot of chemistry between those two. Sent into the zone there by Fleer. Getting a shot away was Mudge. USF still with it, but a good job by Cole Dubois as he flipped that one out into the neutral zone, made him reset. Center cross ice, near side boards. Darash had it, went for a shot, and now Rice with it. Rice sends it up to Wyden. Wyden has it taken off of his stick, and now Urig with it. He'll skate around Marshall, and he's skating along the blue line, gets a little bit of help from a screen there, and tries to get a shot away, but Burkhart does a good job with the stick. That one comes out to the corner, near side boards for Mudge. Down low, Urig trying to get it to Fleer. Another shot, puck's looking like it's still loose, and Simonian able to get a cover, and we'll get a whistle with 53.1.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of speed from this Ice Bowl second line with Urig, Fleer, and Mudge. They're moving their feet, making quick passes, and finding the open space. And we've talked about them a lot in this first period, and they've been generating chances.
That's face-off won by USF, but knocked off the stick by the Mocs, and now Marshall skating it up the neutral zone, taps it over to Wyden. Wyden tries to cut it back in for Marshall. He'll just flip it into the zone. Mocs are onside there. Izzo battling along the board. USF comes away with it, but a good hit by Whiting. He was able to seal the board off and clear that one off, and now ref's arm up for icing. Kazan's going to skate back for that one, and we'll get a whistle for icing.
This is a huge offensive zone draw for Florida Southern. And I just need to see a quick shot here. Late in the period, leave everything out, get everything out of the tank, and it looks like Michael Izzo is going to take the draw. And yeah, Marshall lining up at that left point. I have a feeling he's going to try and get it to him.
As that puck's dropped, tied up, Wyden has it. He takes a shot, and Koch makes a save. Still time for another shot if the Mocs can get it. Izzo had it on his stick. USF moves it down low. He delivers a shot, and it comes back out for Wyden. Wyden with a quick shot. Koch makes the save. Almost a screen there by Catazone with 8 seconds. USF slowing it down, and looks like they're just potentially going to hold for the whistle, and they're going to let the time run out in this first period. So some good pressure by the Mocs in this period. USF able to come out with 2 goals. Noah, what are you looking for from the Mocs in the second period to get back into this game?
I'm just looking for them to keep up the pace of play. It's been good so far here in the first, but just a couple of small mistakes led to 2 USF goals. So they just need to clean up those small errors, and they'll be able to stay in this game.
Yeah, they've done a good job. You mentioned it earlier, sticks on sticks, knocking pucks off of sticks. But they've got to get into the passing lanes. There were a couple passes that probably shouldn't have gone through. You just need a guy to get in there, and that probably negates a goal. So a lot of work. I wouldn't say a lot of work. You're only down 2 goals. The Mocs had a comeback yesterday. They're not a stranger to that. So it'll be interesting to see if the Mocs can continue to play with that speed in the second period and get back into this one.
Yeah, that's just 2 shots away.
So we'll step away. We'll come back for the second period in about 15 minutes. We'll get some fresh ice, and we'll be back here on the Southern Hockey Network. And we are back here on the Southern Hockey Network for the start of the second period. The Mocs out on the ice. And it looks like a new goalie got dressed. Fisher is dressed. Cribbs was dressed for the Mocs as the backup goalie. And looks like we're going to see a switch in net. Ethan Fisher's going to start the second period. We mentioned it, probably just some rest for Simonian. He did play 60 minutes, a late night. Boys probably didn't get back till 4 a.m. from Jacksonville. Excuse me, Cribbs is dressed, so two goalies for the Mocs will be on the bench. Fisher's going to start the second period.
Yeah, I didn't know that was, I'm not sure what the rules are on that, but it seems like everyone's allowing it.
Yeah, you know, some of the rules that you see in maybe NCAA, NHL are a little different in the ACHA, so potentially maybe you are allowed to dress your third goalie. Not sure about the rules of playing the goalies, but
who knows? Maybe we see Fisher here in the second and Jason Cribbs in the third.
Yeah, maybe get all three goalies rolling.
Oh, and it looks like Duhaim's asking the official about it. But nonetheless, we play on.
Pucks drop. Mocs win that one. Burkhart sent it up the board, tried to get it to Marshall. Marshall was pinned by Curran, and now Duhaim skating in. He skates in, and a penalty on the Mocs here, so we're going to get a whistle. Looks like a hook.
Yeah, and that was Koenigsmark using his speed to get around the defender and taking that hook at the last second, and that's what you kind of need to do. That's what they call a good penalty, just to completely eliminate a scoring chance. USF will go to the power play.
Yeah, a tough loss for the Mocs, as that's Burkhart in the box, so they'll get that line rolling on the power play.
And we can kind of see from up here the ice is looking a little bit melted, you know, and we'll see how that affects the puck movement here for the Ice Bulls.
Now a shot. That was Koenigsmark. He's looking for his second. And now Mudge along the blue line, and he has one in this one. That one's shot and up into the netting. That one's going to bounce off Heller there.
Well, I don't know if that hit anybody. He might have just came off his stick weird. But I think he's laughing about it.
You know, every once in a while you get a weird shot, and he's like talking with Duhaim there, showing him the stick, essentially just saying, hey man, that one's on me, as they'll get the draw and it'll be back from Mudge along the blue line. He's skating it down looking for options. He gets it down. Now Duhaim with it. Mudge with it. Gets it to Koenigsmark. Koenigsmark a shot, and a good job by Fisher as he's out of his crease. And a dangerous, yeah, it looks like he got a little stuck there, fell over, but good job by the Mocs not allowing the Ice Bulls to take advantage of that open net.
Yeah, and Fisher was way out of his crease there trying to challenge that shot, but just couldn't find his net, but he was able to get back in. USF not quite there with getting the puck on net as Fisher was out, but good job on the Mocs for keeping the play away from him.
And a shot, a save by Fisher, and a good job by the Mocs defense controlling that rebound. And Wyden was chasing up ice, trying to create a shorthanded opportunity, but now USF with it, and Mudge is going to skate it near the far side board. He's got it. Trying to find Duhaim, a drop pass, nobody there for USF, and now Wyden's going to skate it up. Has it, and he'll just dump it into the far side boards, and Chase put a little pressure there and ultimately almost forces a turnover and comes away with the puck.
Yeah, and we can kind of see it right now. The ice not in the best conditions here to start the period, and hopefully the ice will freeze as we get further along, but that'll affect both teams' play here to start.
Yeah, and so far affecting this Bulls power play, but it is over and almost gets another open net opportunity and just not able to capitalize.
Yeah, USF trying to be really fancy. Now here's Burkhart.
Burkhart on the breakaway. He shoots and he scores. John Burkhart out of the box, puts it in the back of the net. And we have a one-goal game. I always say it, Noah, two-goal game is the most dangerous lead in hockey, and Burkhart coming out of the box puts it in the back of the net.
And what a stretch pass. Burkhart finding space over the blocker of Koch. And the Mocs back within one. That's electric to end this penalty that they had. Burkhardt out of the box, and that's a dream for a guy who just took the penalty, getting space behind the defense and making no mistake on that breakaway.
Yeah, great job by the Mocs, using the momentum from that kill to find the puck and put it in the back of the net. Great goal by Burkhardt. Now that one's sent in by USF. Uric back for it, tried to fire a sharp-angled shot, and they score. Uric gets a sharp-angled shot, and Fisher looks like he tried to get the glove on it, but they will put it in the back of the net. So quick response by the Ice Bulls.
Yeah, and Fisher looked like there's just a little bit of space on that near side post, and Uric doing the right thing, just firing it on net. He's been playing really fast tonight, and he just finds a small hole there, and USF, like you said, quick to respond.
Yeah, put pucks on net, good things will happen, and Uric's a prime example of that there. Mocs down 2 again. Both teams really pushing the pace early in this one. There's a battle in the zone, and Williams just lost the edge there, fell backwards. Donnelly now has it. He kicks it across to Mullen. Mullen's pressured. He just flips it back, and Uric comes away with it, had it in his skate. Made a little soccer move there. Rolls in on Fisher. Fisher's going to slow that down. Mullen's going to send it around the far side boards. Cooper had it, and now USF has some pressure. Down low, Fleer, he'll kick it back to the point for Shaliva, and Fisher gonna make the save.
Yeah, USF taking that momentum that they got from that goal from Bryson Uric, and they've been getting a lot of chances. Good on Fisher for getting the whistle, and Florida Southern sending their top guys out to try and bring the momentum back into their favor.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle of pace. We saw good pace by both teams in the first period, so interested to see if both teams get to that pace of play, and maybe we see another stand where we go 9 minutes without a whistle. As Mocs now have it, Marshall, that one's stuck in the ice. You mentioned it, ice still not fully frozen, so puck getting stuck a little bit easier. As Bogdanov fires it on the pass. Firing that shot was Lorias. And we're going to see a arm up, and looks like we're going to see a penalty against the Mocs for a slash. We'll see who's going to the box. Looks like it's Will Marshall skating over to the box. Not quite sure who this is on.
Oh, this is on Rosello.
Oh, excuse me, a Mock touched it, and so that's when they blew the whistle. So I assume the Mocs were going to end up on the PK, but a big opportunity now as the puck's dropped. USF comes away with it for a second, but Izzo doing a good job carving it out, and USF will flip it down, and now Marshall in a foot race. As Konismark pressuring him on the forecheck. Marshall's got the speed. He gets around him, and he's going to take it up the far side boards. Gets it inside the zone, cuts back. He'll flick it out to the blue line for Wyden, who's sitting there. Wyden drops it back down low to Marshall. Marshall's 2 Ice Bulls on him. Wyden keeps it in, kicks it all the way across to Burkhardt. Burkhardt, a shot. Just doesn't get enough wood on that one. That one goes out wider along the net. A good diving play by Hunter Rice. Keeping Duhame from being, Konismark from being sprung on the shorthanded opportunity. Now puck up to Izzo. Izzo sends it, tries to send it into the far corner, can't. Good job by Burkhardt in the neutral zone, just keeping it from going the full length of the ice. And now Marshall, far side boards, he's skating it back through neutral ice. He flips it on the backhand. But now Fleer has it. Shorthanded, he's pushed hard into the boards by Marshall. Takes a big hit. And Marshall without a stick after that hit. Still some pushing and shoving. Marshall now just holding it, using his feet, pinning it along the board. Still without a stick. Backhand onto Fisher by the Ice Bulls. And Fleer's going to flip it back. Marshall able to finally pick up his stick.
Yeah, all chaos ensued after that massive hit. USF, all alone in front there. A nice opportunity there.
Now Wyden trying to get it in and finally flips it in. Coach came back to play it, send up the boards and down the ice. Fisher's back there. He's got to play it. He sends it around the boards. And now Nicholson up the ice with the puck. Gets into the zone. Rice tries to fire it. Ice Bull gets a stick on that one there. And that one sent up into the netting as the Bulls were trying to flip that one out. That was Fleer. And Caden Williams got a stick, and that one flipped into the netting. So this faceoff's going to be to the left of Coe. And the power play is over for the Mocs. Majority of that time potentially spent with Marshall without his stick. We mentioned it, 30 seconds or so. And if you're USF, you'll take that all day. Make them battle, especially when it's 200 feet away from your goal.
Yeah, just killing time there, keeping it, like you said, keeping it below the opposite goal line. That doesn't hurt at all on the penalty kill.
Now USF with the puck, they're trying to move it up. They have a 3-on-3. Williams does a good job on the back check for a moment. Puck down low and trying to get a shot there was Tom Potkov. And just not able to get a stick on it, kept in by USF. Still battling in the mock zone. Fires a pass across. Trying to take another pass. Mock's almost able to get it out, but Williams had it taken off of his stick. USF, sharp shot. Trying to find it from another tough angle. That one looked like Fisher got it off the helmet. They're going to reset in the neutral zone. Cross-ice pass goes in off of a skate, and Donnelly and Catazone are out there. Donnelly sends it around the boards to Catazone. He'll flip it up over the head of an Ice Bull and does get it out. Almost dangerous there as they had a Bull sealing off the corner, so good play by Catazone. Skated in, and a big hit by Preston Miller. Fourth line out there for the Mocs. Miller scored his second career goal last night in the win at JU, and making his presence known here at the Lakeland Ice Arena.
Yeah, this fourth line has been very physical, high energy, and that's what you want out of the Mocs from your depth lines.
As that one's sent around the boards, held in, and a big hit by Catazone. That's a tone setter, arm up. We're going to see an icing, and that one's negated as that one stopped just by the blue line.
Yeah, potentially still some water in that corner, stopping that puck from getting below the goal line.
It's a gift from the hockey gods. As we mentioned, the ice not quite frozen yet. A shot by the Bulls, and that one goes wide, sent around the boards. Near side board, a big hit there. Starting to see some more of that physicality between the two sides. Both teams just trying to get their guys in it, and that's a good way to do it. As Marshall tried to move the puck up, had it taken off of his stick. And now Duhame, along with Lorius, a backdoor pass, but good job defensively by Wyden. Now Curran trying to get around, trying to get it down low, gets it across near side boards. Marshall battling for the puck. He'll skate it back into his own zone, send it out to neutral ice for Wyden, who's there. Wyden has Burkhart. Wyden kicks it to Burkhart, and we're going to get a whistle for offsides as Wyden just went over the line before Burkhart took the puck over. And once again, Noah, some of that pace of play, another long stretch without a whistle.
Yeah, unfortunately on that last rush there from Florida Southern, it's that pass along the blue line. That's tough, and you just want to make sure you're over that blue line. Obviously, we mentioned the blue line's kind of hard to see from this angle.
As the Mocs do win that faceoff, Burkhart back with it. He'll send it up the near side boards to Izzo, who was there. And now Marshall pressuring Duhame. It's kept in by Marshall on that pressure, but ultimately flipped out. And now Cabral was battling there for it. USF has to wait. They've got to touch up. Now Wyden comes away with it, and he'll kick it to Marshall, who's 2-on-1. And it's kept in the zone by Wyden, who makes a good move. Still knocked off his stick. It goes down low. Izzo has it. Now Marshall comes away with it. He gets it to Izzo. Izzo, a shot. Doesn't get enough on that one. Good opportunity for the Mocs, but Izzo not able to get enough on that one. And Ref taking a spill at center ice, and Kieran now with some speed, he shoots, and Fisher making a good save. Dangerous opportunity there for the Ice Bulls.
Yeah, and Curran using that speed, and lots happened just there moments ago. But Marshall finding Izzo on the back door and can't quite lean into that shot. It looked like he whiffed on it a little bit, which allowed Koch to make that save. But yeah, back and forth here in the last few minutes.
If you're the Mocs, that's an opportunity you don't want to pass up. You don't get many against this Ice Bulls team, and they've had a number, so at some point they've got to find a way to put the puck in the back end of the net and take advantage of these opportunities. As now Rice out there, USF keeps it in the zone, but ultimately it bounces off Rice, showing that spark plug scrappy play that we've seen over the past 2 weeks from him, and he lays a hit into the boards. And kept in off the leg of Dubois, and now a chance for the Mocs. Oh, and an open net, and it goes wide of the crease. And Dubois not able to find it. Rice had the opportunity and couldn't find it in his skates.
Yeah, that forward line creating that turnover. Oh, it's a wide open net. Oh, that's going to be in his dreams tonight.
More like nightmares, Noah. That's in my nightmares. As Rice now with the puck, he shoots. And then a good save by Koch. Still some pressure by this Mocs line. Dubois tried to get a shot. Williams tried to get it. And now Rice has it, trying to make a good play. Still with it. And he'll fall down, and we're going to get a whistle. And we're going to get a penalty as USF is going to go to the box for a trip. Rice taken out. Good job by Rice there, keeping his feet moving.
Yeah, that was a fantastic shift from this forward line of Florida Southern. And to cap it off, they draw the penalty. And the Mocs are going on the power play.
Big opportunity for the Mocs here. They've controlled the pace of play in the last 2 to 3 minutes. And now they're on the power play. You mentioned it. They can put it back to a 1-goal game.
Yeah, and again, going back to that shift, that's just relentless pressure, right? And that can make the best of teams turn the puck over and give you opportunities in your favor.
As the Bulls win the early faceoff, they send it around the board. Burkhart is there for a second. They're still trying to get it out, and now they're going to skate it up, and they might have a 2-on-1. Marshall directing traffic, back pass, and not able to get on that one were the Bulls trying to get a shot away with Shaliva. And now the Mocs will skate it up with Burkhart. He has it on his stick. He fires it around. Ref had to duck there as that one was coming in. That was a screamer, and now the Bulls have it. They're going to send it up the ice. Fisher's going to come back to play that one as the Bulls are advancing, and now he gets it around to Burkhart. And that one's going to be flipped back by Burkhart. Going to set it up for Marshall and let the Mocs slow it down. 1:14 left to go in the power play for the Mocs. Marshall on the near side board. He skates inside, tries to get it backhand and just can't. Good job defensively by the Ice Bulls recovering there as he was coming with some speed.
Yeah, and it looked like the seas parted for Marshall, but then the Bulls just collapsed in on him and negated that chance.
Puck bounces almost out of the line. Good job by Wyden sticking with it, keeping it. And he's sending it across the near side board, and now Marshall with it. He gets it to Burkhart. Burkhart down low to Catazone, trying to get a shot. Burkhart still battling for it. It's bouncing on his stick, and the Bulls are going to get it clear.
Yeah, Catazone trying to dust that puck off, but he just has to receive that and fire it.
And Marshall, and getting into it in the back end of the play, he lost his stick, and he's talking to an Ice Bull. Not happy about that. And shot by the Mocs, Izzo now with the puck. Marshall had to step off as his stick is all the way back down behind Fisher. Mocs still 15 seconds. They have an opportunity now with Williams with the puck. Slows it down, tries to get a shot. Koch looking for it, and he'll get it. And he'll get the cover with 3 seconds left to go.
Yeah, that puck was a little bit loose on the side of the net. The official right there able to see that puck was still in play, and Koch was able to find it as well as his defenders and get it to him.
Yeah, good job by the ref. Not being too quick on the whistle. Sometimes you see it, and if they think it's covered, they'll just blow it. So good job by the ref being right there in the middle of the play and allowing them to keep going.
And we saw last night a couple of early whistles as the official was on the opposite side of the goaltender. So good positioning there from the referees.
We talk about positioning in hockey, but you got to talk about it with the officials too. That sometimes allows goals and negates goals. So good job by the officials here. USF wins that one, effectively killing the penalty, and they'll try to get some momentum going after a big kill. Sent up the far side boards. Williams lost the edge, fell down there. USF now with it in the zone. Kompakov, Fisher played that one away with the stick. That one was in the air. So good job, and that one's going to be flipped up. And that one's going to be flipped up into the rafters. A little bit of a low ceiling here at LIA.
Yeah, those long flips aren't going to work here. I know those are nice plays in professional hockey where you're in the arenas with the super high ceilings. You know, I've one too many times flipped the puck up into the roof. So it's just unfortunate, but that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, guys probably still used to Jacksonville where there are some rafters and it's tough. Bulls battling down low, have the puck, trying to get a backhand. It's just in the skates there. Not able to come away with it. Fliss out there. Battling down low. And it bounces over his stick, and now Dubois skating it up, but he's pressured by Fliss on the back check, and he's going to take a big hit. And we're going to get a whistle there. We're going to get a hooking call. Fans not too happy about that one here at LIA. The visiting Ice Bowl fans, as Fliss is headed to the box. If I saw any penalty, I thought it was going to be boarding, not quite a hook, but nonetheless, the Mocs are going to get another power play.
Yeah, and you could see Cole Dubois' teammates giving him props on the bench. That was a really hard hit. We could see it right here in front of us. But that wasn't even the penalty. You know, he was moving his feet, drew the hooking call, and Florida Southern back on the power play to try and bring this to within one.
Good job by the Mocs, moving their feet. Rice drew the tripping, and now Dubois drew the hooking and took a big shot in the process. So props to Dubois, and glad to see that he's back up as that top power play unit's out there. And the Bulls are going to flip that one, tried to get it down the ice and went up into the Mocs bench, and Nick Nugent catching that puck.
I thought that was going right at his hip. He's able to get out of the way of that one.
He's telling the boys on the bench that I've still got it. Looking like an NFL receiver out there. As Rice is in for the faceoff. USF wins it back. Sent it around the board. Burkhart doing a good job sealing the blue line. Sends it across ice to Wyden and out to Marshall. Back down low to Wyden. Out into the center for Rice, and Rice is not able to get it. Still battling for it, though. And that one's flipped up high in the air, not into the rafters. Still kept in by the Mocs. Good pressure. A shot by Marshall. Flipped up and into the netting. Good job by Koch getting the save there.
Yeah, and that's fantastic gap control from the Mocs. Colton Wyden holding that blue line. That's really dangerous because, you know, the Bulls, if they get a bounce, they're on the rush the other way. But Wyden holding his ground and able to cause that turnover on the blue line. And they get a really good chance. Marshall with the one-timer. That was a good shot. And that's kind of tough for a goalie like Koch to track, but he sees it well and deflects it out of play.
As the Mocs ultimately win that faceoff, but it just jumps past Marshall. Marshall's going to play it to Burkhart on the backhand, but then kicks it back across to Marshall, but it just got lost in his skates. So he's going to send it around as Koenigsmark was there pressuring him. Burkhart now with it, kicks it across the ice into open space. Nobody there for the Mocs. Not really taking advantage of this power play so far. Duhame's out there in the offensive zone with the puck, and he'll pass it back, and it's dumped back. But now Wyden comes away with it, and now the Mocs have some time. Wyden has Izzo up with him. Wyden makes a move, and he's going to take a big hit as he tried to cut inside. And now that one's going to go all the way down onto Fisher, who slows it down. And he's going to send it back around his goal for Marshall. Good job there by Fisher, and that one's sent back around by Marshall to Burkhart. USF getting some fresh legs on the PK. Pressuring on the forecheck. Now Marshall with it. He's going to try to get it going. He'll cut back. Pressured on the forecheck by the Ice Bulls. Some good forechecking by the Ice Bulls on this PK. And they get it out in front, and a shot, and Fisher coming up big. Dangerous opportunity there. But Fisher standing tall in between the pipes.
Yeah, he's bailing his team out there. Mox, you can't turn that over when you're outnumbering your opponent in your own zone. And Fisher coming up big.
And we're going to get a whistle for offsides. Looks like Rice was just offsides a little bit, and Burkhart moved it across the line. So Wyden stepping off. We're going to see a little bit of a line change. Catazone, Nicholson, and Cabral hopping over. Marshall headed to the bench. Izzo staying out there. He's going to take the face off. No, excuse me. Rice is going to take the face off. Mocs are getting set. They win that draw. 5 seconds actively have killed off the second power play, but Catazone with a shot. Koch making the save. And looks like it went up into the netting. Koch might have came away with it. No, excuse me. Koch came away with it with the glove, so good job there corralling that one on what was a far shot from the blue line.
Yeah, he's using his stick to direct that puck into his glove. And that's perfect rebound control. You don't want to let anything get in front of you and just getting a quick whistle.
Now the Bulls battling along the board there. Catazone with Urig. Urig comes away with it, but two Mocs there able to keep him from moving it up ice. Good job there by Nicholson and Rice. Now the Mocs are moving it up. That's Lee. Urig now with it. On the backhand, kicks it to the near side boards. It's down low in the corner. Sent back out to the blue line for Lee. Lee patrolling, dumps it down low to Fleer. A shot, and that one rings off the iron. Beautiful sound in hockey.
Yeah, Urig looking skyward after that. He had Fisher beat, but not the iron.
And now good job by Cabral, as that puck was trying to be sent in by the Bulls, but he's able to get a stick on it, and we're going to get a whistle for offsides. And Miller slightly offsides. I'm not sure what the ref was seeing there. Nick Nugent threw his head back there on the bench for the Mocs. Not too happy about that one.
Yeah, I don't know if he's necessarily arguing the call. I think he's just upset. It looked like the Mocs had a good rush going there. And that's always a mood killer a little bit, but you just got to move on to the next play.
Yeah, keep the legs moving, keep the pace of play going as TJ Tillman and Joe Vecchione are out there. Bulls trying to move it in, dropped it back, and Vecchione does a good job just being in that passing lane. Something I talked about was key for the Mocs. Pass across, nobody home. This time Pakov was looking for somebody. Now out to the blue line, a shot. Bounces off a couple sticks in front. Looks like Catazone was one of those sticks. Now Vecchione had a chance with the puck, but Tillman's taking it up. He'll dump it in, and Tillman goes for the change. Good job, but there, as Vecchione's going to fly in on the forecheck. Sent cross ice. Donnelly's back for it with Walter. Donnelly's just going to skate behind Fisher, slow it down. Lost a little bit of it there, but Cole Dubois now. He turns it over, but gets it back. Good job coming back as now Izzo drops it for Marshall. Maybe a little bit miscommunication there. A shot, sharp angle. Coach out in front and just over the stick of Walter. Fisher's out for it, leaves it for Donnelly. Good pass there to the point and just bounced over the stick of Walter. And now Urig has it. He fires a shot, and Fisher able to get the cover. Urig feeling a little bit like he can shoot anything and it'll go in the net after he got a goal earlier with the sharp angled shot.
Yeah, and just before that rush, USF they had to wait to tag up. I think if you're Florida Southern, you want to close that gap and make it harder on the Ice Bulls to generate anything off of the rush. I think the Mocs have started to puck watch a little bit. They're throwing away the puck a little bit, and they just need to calm things down.
Yeah, as we're going to see a mixture of those top two lines out there. Marshall in the dot versus Duham. Duham wins it. Minute 38 left to go. Sent around the boards. Walter battling down low. Had it in his skates. It was taken away there. And good play there. Now Marshall was up the ice, trying to leave it back there for Walter, trying to find a teammate who was coming up as he was along the blue line.
And we're seeing some different lines here for Florida Southern. Marshall, Rice, and we saw Walther out there as well. So trying to switch things up to get a little bit of a spark going here in the second.
Yeah, and I like the idea of changing the lines, trying to get different things working. Rice, spark plug line, good with Will Marshall. As Izzo has it, he drops it back for Marshall. Marshall, a shot, and that one goes wide. Comes out to neutralize. Bulls try to set it up. Duham had it skip past his stick, but now he's got it, and he skates it in the zone. Tried to keep wide by Rice, a shot by Duham. Good job by Rice keeping that one out wide, and that one's going to bounce off of the stick of Caden Williams with 36 seconds left to go. Sent up the boards by the Ice Bulls. Williams trying to knock Konigsmark off the puck, and he's still got it. He's skating it around. Looked like he was going to try wraparound, but lost it a little bit.
No, he was trying the Michigan. Couldn't get it up on his stick.
Yeah, lost it. Had Fisher beat as he was out of his crease, and a shot by the Bulls, and they'll score. A 4-1 lead by the Bulls. I'm not quite sure who got that one. Looks like Lorius is going through the handshake line.
Yeah, Konigsmark took the shot, but might have bounced off of Lorius in front. But yeah, that's just a guy coming in late as the trailer. We talked about it all game. Florida Southern really good with their sticks in the slot, in the middle of the ice in general, keeping any of the opportunities away from the front of the net, but the puck, just a bad bounce, goes out to Konigsmark, and that shot gets through, and the Bulls take a 3-goal lead here in the second.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate goal late in the period with just 13 seconds left. If you're the Mocs, you're trying to put something on net and take any shot you can, as Oken and Izzo are out there, and a quick shot. And that one is going to do it for the second period. So a late goal by USF is Izzo and Duham are tied up. And Izzo's a tall customer. Duham not the tallest guy. But both teams going to head off the ice. Noah, obviously good momentum for the Mocs. 2 power plays. What do you need to see from them after giving up that late goal to get some momentum coming into the third period?
I think some of the fatigue is starting to set in nicely. They do get a rest here, obviously, in the intermission. But again, they just need to calm things down. Like I said, I think they've been, thinking a little bit too fast, and they just need to settle it down because they have the plays there. They just need to pick their head up, take extra half a second if they have the puck, and support each other, and just make the right plays. They've been playing well tonight. They have.
Yeah, they've had the opportunities to put the puck in the back of the net multiple times, a couple times where probably should have ended up there. And, if you're the coaching staff for the Mocs at this point, you tell them you guys are doing a good job. We just got to find a way to capitalize on those opportunities and find the puck into the net.
Yeah, and also that's not sitting back. That's being aggressive like they have been. That's how they've generated their chances. So they just got to keep that up going into the third.
Yeah, big hits in this period by both sides. USF added on a goal. So, 2 goals in this period. So plenty of time left. Mocs are only down by 3. And we have an entire 20 minutes left to play when we come back for the third period here on the Southern Hockey Network. Welcome back to Lakeland Ice Arena here on the Southern Hockey Network as we are getting ready for the third period and another goaltending change for the Moccasins. Jason Cribbs is going to get the third period of this game.
Hey, I called it.
You called it. Hey, Noah, go put a parlay down because you're going to get lucky. I have a feeling. So, yeah, another goaltending change for the Mocs. They are down 3, still in this game, had a number of opportunities in that second period. Noah, what do you want to see from the Mocs to get into this game?
Yeah, I mentioned at the end of the last period, they just need to take that extra half a second, control the puck, because notice that they're starting to throw away the puck a little bit more, and that's never helpful unless you are dumping it in, going after it. But I'm talking about in their defensive zone and turning the puck over. They just need to clean those small details up, and they're right in this game.
Yeah, and you mentioned potentially fatigue setting in at the end of that period, but they had 15 minutes to rest, so plenty of speed, plenty of firepower on this team as we get ready to drop the puck here.
Well, those 15 minutes go by quick, so.
I will say it felt like forever up here as the puck rolls in on Cribbs, and he'll leave it for Catazone. Catazone skates back, and he's skating it up on his backhand. Good play there, keeping the puck. And now he's skating it up all by himself, and he'll lose an edge. Now Izzo with it, he shoots. And Coach gonna get the save there.
Yeah, right into the midsection. Kind of a broken play there. Catazone slipping on the ice. It is slippery. And Izzo just came in, picked that puck up. Looked like he was trying to go 5-hole, but just a little bit too much height on it, and Coke able to make the save.
I love that play, just getting it up the ice and making opportunities. As Mocs win that one, Catazone's going to fire it in. Mocs were offside, so they're going to have to touch up. Bulls back for it. That was Lee. He'll send it around the boards, and Wyden's going to skate into that one. He'll get the puck for Izzo, who's down low, and it goes back to Wyden. Wyden's getting it down low for Marshall. Off his stick, Catazone with it. He shoots, and looks like it caught a stick there of a Bull. Izzo was trying to redirect it, and it ultimately went out wide. Comes out to the point for Burkhart. Burkhart along the blue line. He'll fire a shot. And Coke going to get the save there as well.
Good on John Burkhart getting that puck through. There were a lot of bodies in that lane, and he found a way to get that through. And USF, but a little bit uncharacteristic of them, seeing them throw away the puck a little bit in their own zone, and the Mocs causing those turnovers.
We talked about it. Relentless pressure was a big part of why they had so many opportunities, and they're trying to get that going here in this one. As Williams lost his stick, that one's fired up. Coke couldn't get a save, and we're going to get a penalty there. Williams got his stick, it looks like maybe up too high, caught a Bull in the face. So we're going to see a power play.
Oh, the official had his arm up, but doesn't look like he made a signal.
So it looks like they're just going to call it a whistle for a high stick. Instead, thought we were going to get a penalty there. Rest probably talked it over, side against it. That one's sent up the near side boards. And for USF, now Curran has it. He drops it back door, tried to get Duhame. Couldn't get it on his stick. Dangerous opportunity there. But now the Mocs are skating it up, and that's Rice with Williams. Rice fires it off the stick of a Bull. Rice not too happy there, smacking his stick against the ice.
Yeah, Jonathan Cooper with the stick there. And that's good gap control from the Ice Bull defender, getting that stick into the shot lane.
And Hunter Rice has really shown some of that offensive prowess along with Burkhart in this game. So some of the guys you normally see being scrappy, physical guys taking the shots that you don't normally see. Mocs win that faceoff. Wyden with a quick shot. That one goes out wide. Still pressured. USF does get it out. Duhame cross ice to Curran. Curran trying to make a move with it. He has it knocked off his stick by Marshall. It comes out. Mocs take it away. Izzo kicks it cross ice to Wyden. This top line going to work. Wyden a shot, and he puts it in the back of the net. Wyden with the shot, and he'll score.
Perfectly placed shot from Cole Wyden over the blocker of Coke. And that's the second shot that's beat him over the blocker. So the Mocs might need to take notes. But what a snipe from the sophomore. It's a 2-goal game.
Yeah, Great goal by Wyden. You know, he's had a number of shots. It was only a matter of time, and he found it and put that one right on the perfect spot.
Yeah, and potentially even using that defender as a screen, getting it through the body and on net. But again, a fantastic shot from Wyden.
So good momentum, good pace to the game for the Mocs. A shot. That one goes off a stick. Looks like Donnelly got it and up into the netting. Wyden tallied his 8th goal of the year. He's tied for second in scoring with Izzo and moving into the second spot with that goal. Only behind Will Marshall. His face-off to the right of Cribs. Marshall skating in for the face-off. It's going to be versus Bogdanov. Mocs win it. Marshall still pressured by Bogdanov. He'll skate it back. Using some of that speed, he loses it in the slot. A shot. And a save by Cribs.
Cribs flashing the leather. A little bit of a windmill there. He's getting into this game. And an impressive save nonetheless through the screen.
Yeah, not quite sure how he got that one. I mean, if he's got better reaction time than me, that would have been in the back of the net if I'm down there. So good save by Cribs. Getting tested early. Sent around the boards by Mullen. Good play there. Wyden battling along the boards, trying to get it out. A little pushing and shoving there. Stays in. Dumped down low for Choliva. And it comes out for the Mocs. Now Marshall has it. He's going to flip it up and into the rafters. Trying to dump it just out of the zone, and it got stuck up into the rafters. Again, that low ceiling, you got to be careful of it.
Yeah, got to put a little bit of touch on those flips. These guys are good enough. They can do that.
Yeah, so face-off staying inside the Mock zone. Bogdanov with Marshall. USF wins that one. Skating around, trying to find a pass in the slot. Nobody there. Good job by the Mocs, clogging that center ice. The shot tried to get it redirected. Sent out wide. Mocs trying to get the clear. Kept in for a second. Mocs should still be able to get the clears. Catazone skates it up at the far side boards. Tipped back by USF, but a good job there by Burkhart, flipping it out of danger. And now it's in Bogdanov, and he shoots and he scores! Beats Cribs on the right side and gives USF a 3-goal lead.
Yeah, Bogdanov is pulling that stick in tight to his body, and he puts everything into that wrist shot. He beats Cribs kind of under the glove over that pad. It's a perfectly placed shot, and USF Bulls taking a 5-2 lead, getting that lead back to 3.
Yeah, and that's been the struggle. The Mocs have scored, and USF's been quick to answer. So the Mocs just have to find a way to keep that momentum rolling. And we're going to get a whistle. It's like icing. That one was just past the red line. So we're going to see a face-off to the right of Cribs. And you have to wonder if we're going to see Marshall out there for couple shifts in a row late in this one, that top line. As USF wins that one for a moment. Oaken trying to flip it out. Couldn't get quite enough on it. It comes out for Nicholson, and he will get it out and chip it. Oaken's going off for a change. Rice steps on. USF flips it to neutral ice. But Rice there, straight off the bench, already getting into the play. Now he's got to stick up in a bull for a second. No hooking called there. Dropped back. Pass back door. Didn't get through. Good job by Walter getting in the passing lane. Flipped almost out of the zone. Cabral. And a big hit by Rice. Some of that physicality just trying to set the tone. No icing. Rice trying to skate back with some speed, but he's going to be beat to the puck by Ott. Good speed by the defenseman. Now a turnover, and Bulls able to maintain possession. As almost Cole Dubois had a chance there if he got that puck. Now Max Ratliff with a shot. Goes out wide. Well, shoving him a whistle as Cribs, it was like he slid into the goal and it just came loose for a second. So no change for the Mocs as they're going to check on the goal, make sure it's safe. A little bit of shove there by Rice as a ice bowl was in the crease, and that's probably what knocked Cribs into the net.
Yeah, just playing hard in front of the net. Net is going to come off sometimes.
This puck's sent around into the low slot for Yurig, but a good job by Mullen intercepting it, but turns it over. Backdoor shot. Almost put in by Mudge, but just wasn't able to get on that one.
Yeah, he was waiting for that on the back door. Everyone was looking at Cooper, ready to take that shot. But just a little bit too much on that. Putting a little more touch on that will get that to Mudge.
And tried to get it to Mudge right there. He does have the puck. He fires a shot, tries to get a redirection, and Cribs making a good glove save.
Yeah, through traffic as well, and the Ice Bulls just trying to throw pucks on net. Can never go wrong there. And again, we're seeing a lot of their lines out there on the ice. And they're showing their depth here this evening. As we kind of talked about it earlier in the game, they're playing more of their lines 1 and 2, but we've kind of seen their depth out here more as the game has progressed along.
It's interesting to see how they've played without Grant Dietz, who is their leading scorer, as that one's kicked across and Yurik couldn't find it as that was in his skates. And Donnelly pushing on him, went to a pass for Mudge. USF still keeping it in the zone. Down low for Fleer, fires it backhand, and Cribs is just going to get a cover on that one. Little talk in there between Donnelly and Fleer, who Donnelly delivered that check to. Once again, some physicality. Mock trying to get into this one. And Mox win it wide and tried to spring it for himself, but USF's going to clear it back into the zone. And now Donnelly back with it. He sends it around the boards, and Marshall was there, wasn't able to play it. USF offsides, and now Marshall up the boards, bounced off the boards and just not able to get it on his stick. Izzo skating in, lays a check, and that one's pinned along the boards, flipped in deep by the Mocs. Flipped on to Izzo. He didn't see it hit him quite really. Wyden with the shot, misses, down and low, still loose out in front. They're battling for it. Marshall, a quick shot, blocked up into the corner. Comes out to Donnelly. Donnelly not able to get a shot away. Now USF off the ice. Mudge on the breakaway. Shoots. Cribs with a save, and Donnelly slides into Cribs. But Cribs making the save.
Yeah, and I was a little worried there when Donnelly crashed into Cribs that he's going to knock that puck into the net, but we could see from our angle the puck kind of came out and to the right, to our right of the net. And I want to talk about that pass that led to that breakaway. Really nice touch on it from Bryson Yurig in between the two defenders, and Judge almost getting that one there.
Yeah, good job by Cribs, standing tall, not getting too impatient, not letting the adrenaline get to him, and standing tall. And Ron Donnelly gave him a pat on the head, said, "That's my bad," after he runs into him. So that one's flipped back around behind. And a big hit by Izzo along the blue line there. Some of that physicality. Marshall trying to spring himself. It's lost in the skates, and he falls down. No penalty. Still with the puck. Now he has Wyden. Wyden sends it into the corner. He's pushed off the puck. Now Königsmark takes a big hit from Marshall.
Yeah, Marshall's going to go to the box.
And we're going to get a whistle. And you mentioned it. Marshall to the box.
It's going to be a rough.
So
He was looking for a hit, it looked like.
Yeah, looked like a good hit, maybe just a little bit too late, and that's where you get those roughing calls. And that's a big loss for the Mocs down 3, a guy who really sparks their offense. Not happy about that call as he slams the door.
Yeah, I think he was frustrated on that last rush, kind of one-on-one, and he was taken down. He was trying to draw a penalty there, and frustration set over. Looks like the Mocs also got a bench minor.
Yeah, it looks like they maybe gave an unsportsmanlike. So it's going to be 5-on-3. So a a big kill coming if the Mocs want to have any chance in this one. Not sure what that second penalty was. Maybe it was just unsportsmanlike.
You know, you get frustrated. You maybe say some things that you don't want to, and the officials don't necessarily like that. So, you know, maybe something was said, and the official said, no, that's not happening tonight.
Yeah, and officials will call that every time. It's a game management penalty, and that's what you got to do if you're the ref, as Mocs did get the early clear. Now USF with the puck. Drop pass to Duhame. Duhame a shot. Cribbs gets over, makes a save. Back behind the net is Mudge. Has Duhame, who looks like he's backdoor timing up a 1T, and that one just off. Not able to get that down low. Konigsmark has Duhame back down low to Konigsmark. Tries to fire it up. Izzo gets a stick on that. It comes out, and Rice almost had an opportunity as Duhame had it bouncing. And then he's going to deliver a big hit on the back check and send that one down the ice. Two big clears by Hunter Rice.
And that was fantastic from both Michael Izzo and Hunter Rice. Hunter taking the body and forcing that turnover, and Izzo essentially defending two guys in his own defensive zone.
Now Max Mudge with it, gets it back door to Konigsmark. That one goes wide and potentially up into the netting. So we're going to get a whistle.
Yeah, that passing lane was wide open. That's going to happen, you know, when you're down two guys. And yeah, Konigsmark unable to connect on that one. Looked like he had the top of the net open. But USF, when they've gotten the offensive zone time, they've moved the puck well in the O zone. But again, credit to Florida Southern taking away those passing lanes that otherwise might be there.
And you've got a dangerous PKer in the box. As Marshall is quick to be sprung, and a shot by the Bulls, not able to get there. Pinned along the boards. Now Cribbs without his stick. Shot blocked by Wyden, and he's going to fall to the ice. That one hurt, but gets back up. Was able to get the clear off the block. So good job there by Wyden, even though that one looked like it hurt.
Yeah, those don't feel good. He's okay, but that one's definitely a stinger.
And the Mocs effectively kill the 5-on-3, are still in this game with a big kill. Puck's down low, kicked out in front. No one home for the pass. A shot, and that one goes up top. Another shot, trying to jam down low, and Cribbs gonna make a save. Good job by Cribbs, standing his ground, hugging the post there.
Yeah, and I want to go back to the power play specifically for USF, and feel like they had opportunities to shoot that puck, but they were looking for that extra pass, trying to put a little bit more finesse on those plays. And, you know, unfortunately, like, this ice isn't going to work with them. It's late in the game. You know, it's been cut up all day. And, yeah, sometimes you just got to keep it simple and get those shots off, because I feel like they probably could have had better chances with just shooting the puck. But, again, looking for those cross-ice passes, looking for those nice one-timers.
Yeah, sometimes teams looking too much to get too fancy, and sometimes that extra pass kills the percentage of the opportunity. As now Marshall flips that one in. That one comes right up towards the computer here. Almost had a chance to catch that one. Bounces down low, right below his hero on the near side boards. Guys, I was going to be asking for some insurance there for a second.
Yeah, I thought I was going to have to get a new laptop for a second.
So pucks are flying here at Lakeland Ice Arena as the Mocs win that faceoff.
Yeah, and even with the netting, we're not safe up here.
If you've learned anything, that one's whistled down for offsides. But if you've learned anything from watching this game, is you got to keep your head on a swivel, no matter where you are, no matter how much netting is at a hockey arena.
Yeah, it looks like an offside call here as we get back to this game. The Bulls pleading their case.
It's puck won by Marshall. He takes a big shove there, and that one's flipped up into the netting, so we're going to get another whistle. Marshall taking a shove there off the face-off.
Yeah, and Marshall looking over at William Fliss.
Face-off at center ice after that one got flipped into the netting. Mocs win it back. Burkhart with it. Burkhart flips it up to Williams. Williams sets it for Marshall. Marshall shoots, scores! Will Marshall taking the hit, wins that faceoff and puts it in the back of the net. And only a 2-goal lead for the Ice Bulls.
That entire odd man rush was responsible from Caden Williams. He shielded that defender, pinched up on him, and he just laid it forward. Will Marshall able to skate into it, and he's not going to miss that shot.
You want to talk a pass of the game, it's that pass from Caden Williams. You said it. He pinched the guy off, set Marshall up the boards, and that allowed him to score that goal. So big props to Caden Williams for that amazing pass there. So 10:22 left to go in the third period. Mocs down by 2. And a good save there by Cribbs. Bounces off the pads and right into the glove. And if you're the Mocs right now, you know, USF has answered to every goal relatively quickly. Noah, what are you doing to stop them from doing that?
You know, I think just continuing to play the way they have in the D zone. When the puck goes to the middle of the ice, everything's got to get back to the outside. And they've been doing that well, so they just need to continue to do what they're doing. USF, big push here just to try and answer, but they just have to try and stand tall and you know, just keep everything away from the net.
Yeah, they're doing a good job keeping that outside. As Nicholson laid a big hit. And he got up on that one a little slow, but now he's back skating on the forecheck. He's going to circle back. They're going to get a change as Max Mudge now with the puck skates it into the Mocs zone. He's kept out wide by Donnelly. Trying to get a stick on that one was Fleer. He's battling down low against Catazone. Izzo with the check. Catazone flips it up, and that one's going to go up into the rafters. Trying to flip that one up for Marshall and just caught the low ceiling once again.
Yeah, and this first line back out here for the Mocs. That third line out there to respond to the USF's response after the goal. And they did a great job, like I said, playing defensively well, getting pucks out, being strong on the puck, and that was something we talked about last night as well. And it's looking like they're doing a better job of being harder on the puck, getting the pucks out of the zone.
I've loved the energy from this third line as now Marshall tried to skate it up but had to go back because Izzo was just offside. Now a good touch pass. Urig with the pass from Mudge and a good job defensively by Catazone and allowed Donnelly. And now Marshall skating it up. He's got Izzo 2-on-1 and just off the stick of Izzo. Now it's down into the corner, comes back out almost for Wyden. USF able to get the clear, but a good stick by Cabral, keeping that from Urig, and it's offside. Izzo still pressing. And Max Mudge now skating it up. He's got it inside. He shoots and he scores. Max Mudge gets looks like a slow roller there just past Cribbs. And they extend the lead once again to 3 goals.
Yeah, and a quick shot there from Max Mudge. Just a quick snapper on the ice and beats Cribbs, drop into that puck. And USF, another quick one. You know, we talked about their responses all night, and they've got themselves another response, and they're back up by 3.
Yeah, that's Mudge's second goal of the game. He's one of those players that's averaging more than a point per game, 27. Well, now 29 in 23 games. And another shot by the Bulls, saved by Cribbs out in front. Stopped there by Burkhart. Now Duham down low with it, try to get it out in front, and Williams skates it up. Rice laying a hit there on Konigsmark, and a big hit on Williams there, and then a hit by Konigsmark on Rice. Now Bulls are skating it up with some speed. Catazone does a good job of it, but no matter what, the Bulls are undeniable, and they're going to score. As that was Lorius putting that one in the back of the net. Just like another weird puck, just dribbled barely past Cribbs. Looked like he didn't get everything on it.
Yeah, and that was off of a transition for USF. Doing well with gap control on the Mocs rush, and they turned the other way, and the Mocs caught being a little bit too far up, and USF, they have the speed, and Glorious able to get that one past Cribbs on the breakaway.
As now Catazone has it, fires it at the blue line. Koch making the initial save. Marshall gets shoved down there. Now he's getting pushed up along the boards. USF able to clear it, and now they're going to spring a pass. But good job by Donnelly, got in that passing lane, and now Konigsmark down low to Duhame. Duhame not able to find that one. And he's a dangerous threat, but been relatively quiet. Hasn't scored a goal. Now Izzo up to Marshall. Marshall skating it in. He'll shoot. Izzo tried to kick it back from Marshall, but USF comes away with the puck. Konigsmark now with it. Slows it down. He shoots. Chris makes the initial save. Still loose. Bounced out back in front. Good job by the Mocs. And now Wyden with it. Wyden flips it to Izzo. Izzo has Marshall on the far side. Marshall with it. Slowing it down. Sends it around in front for Izzo. Bouncing. Marshall still with it. Walter holds it in at the blue line, sent down low, but not quite around the boards as USF's going to come out with it. Konigsmark now with it. Drop pass. Shot. Kriz making the pad save. Still in the zone for Bogdanov. And we're going to get a whistle there. Looks like, 6 Mocs on the ice, so we're going to get a penalty for too many men.
Yeah, that's a killer if you're Florida Southern. And, yeah, just a miscommunication on the bench. And it looks like Hunter Rice is going to sit for Florida Southern.
And a big loss on the PK for them. We've talked about him being that spark plug. As this faceoff's going to be to our left of Cribbs. Nicholson sliding in for the draw. USF comes away with that one. They'll have possession. Rosello out wide. He tries a quick shot. That one goes wide. That one bounced over the stick there of Cooper. Not able to keep that one in. On the Mocs to kill some of that time. Now a quick shot, and Cribbs able to get a glove on that one. Good job by the Mocs. Looks like it potentially got redirected off of a stick, so good on Cribbs off to tracking it off the redirection.
Yeah, and USF, they've seen the way they've gotten their last couple of goals, and looks like they're just trying to test Jason Cribbs a little bit more. And he's up to the task. I would have liked to see them get into the zone, set up a little bit, and try and generate that way. But we've seen these last couple of goals go in, and it doesn't hurt just to get that puck on net, and you never know what happens.
As Rosello takes a shot, that one goes wide. Haven't seen too much of him, but he's out there on this PK late in this game. A shot and a goal by the Bulls. Put that one in the back of the net, and they'll extend their lead to 5.
Yarchaliva getting loose into the slot, and just a quick shot. Nothing too crazy, and it's all about finding that open ice in the offensive zone to generate scoring chances. And Florida Southern, we've talked about how they've done really well in the defensive zone tonight, but that one slipped by them. He was caught right in the middle of the slot, and a really nice shot there from the captain of the Ice Bulls.
Yeah, so power play goal after the too many men. Unfortunate penalty, and USF able to take advantage. Sent around the boards. USF with the puck. They're going to dump it through the neutral zone. Sent back in by the Mocs. Wyden sent it back from Marshall, but Izzo's offside, so he's going to have to slow it down. Kazan still can't advance it. He's going to dump it in. Mocs had to touch up. Good play there by Kazan. It's now puck held by the Bulls. That was Heller. Down low, Bulls still pressing. Wyden battling for it. Now Marshall has it. He's going to skate it near the far side boards. He'll drop it into center ice for Izzo, who's going to dump it in, and Marshall's going to chase. Looked like he was going to try to deliver a hit, but went inside there, and now the Bulls with it. Now Rosello with it. He fires a shot, and Cribbs making the save. Big hit from Marshall. A little jawing there after the play. Izzo, Wyden, and Marshall. We talked about their chemistry, and that stems from scoring goals, but also standing up for each other in moments like that.
I mean, you saw it right there. Marshall and Rosello just kind of jawing at each other, and then Wyden and Izzo just kind of step right in front of him. And, you know, that's a good camaraderie there from your teammates. And, you know, it's always good to have, you know, on your team.
Yeah, those guys very, very close on the ice, off the ice, as we see that right there. And now Wyden has Izzo. He's moving it up. He chips it to Izzo. Izzo knocked off the puck. Bulls send it up, and they'll get it out.
There's a good back check there from Ott.
Moving it up is Max Ratliff with some speed. He had it knocked off his stick, gets back with it. Still has it. He's down low, below the goal line. And now Cabral has it, but taken away by Ratliff. A good forecheck by Ratliff. A big hit there by Izzo, and then a hit by Marshall on Ratliff. And now Izzo sends it up to Marshall, flipped out. Ratliff back up in the play. Wyden sends it around, and that top line's going to go for a change. They've got to hurry as the Bulls are trying to come with some speed. Miller and Oken stepped off with Joseph Vecchione. Dropped back for Ratliff. Comes out of the zone. They send it back in offside, and ref's arm goes up, but they touch up, and then it's sent back down. No icing as that one caught a stick on the way down. Potentially caught Keller there. 3:27 left to go. That one goes the length of the ice, and that one will be an icing against the Ice Bulls. So it's going to come down with 3:22 left to go in the third period. Mocs down by 5. Now, if you're the Mocs, what are you looking for in the last 3 minutes of this game?
Again, just not kind of falling apart at the end of the game. Obviously, it is a 5-goal game. So, in 3 minutes left, you just want to close this one out. Nothing crazy here at the end of the game. And it looks like
we're gonna get
a penalty from William Fliss.
Yeah, not quite sure. Maybe one of those, hey, you don't talk to the ref like that penalties. So now we're going to see that top line back over the boards for the Mocs.
You know, I'm not completely sure what it was. You know, I think from that whistle, I think he might have just been talking the entire way to the bench.
And refs aren't going to take that. You know, I wonder what he said, but it's probably not appropriate for what you want to hear on the broadcast. As Mocs win that one. Marshall back at the blue line. He'll send it around the boards. Burkhart's going to skate up into it. Press along the boards, and the Bulls are going to clear it. Mudge is chasing it down. Marshall's pressuring him. He's got someone, but just trailing a little too late was Fleer, and now Wyden up with it, has Rice and Izzo with him. And we're going to get a whistle for offsides. Izzo skated over, and Wyden just looked like he went a little bit wide.
Yeah, he was kind of moving horizontally on the blue line, and you just got to get inside the zone just so you can allow your teammates to get inside the offensive end. And yeah, that's kind of the way that this third period has been going as of lately.
And USF wins that faceoff. Mudge skating it up. Pressed by Marshall. Good job on the back check by Marshall as Mudge is looking for the hat trick. Now Wyden has the puck. Drops back. Kicks it cross ice to Marshall, who kicks it to Burkhart. And Burkhart not able to play that one. Now sent down the length of the ice. No icing as the Bulls are on the PK. So Burkhart going back as Cribbs stopped it. 2:30 left to go. Minute 7 in the power play. Burkhart kicks it across to Marshall, who's going to skate it up, send it around the boards. Burkhart tried to chase after it. It bounces out. Wyden's going to send it across to Rice. Mock's able to get out, and they're just going to send it back around the boards because they had to touch up. Now it comes back around to Rice. He does a good job sealing it at the blue line. He fires it in. Koch makes a save. avoiding a check there was Konigsmark, and we're going to get a whistle for offsides and a check on Wyden there, and he took a fall to the ice, so he's going to head back to the bench. Top line going to switch, and we're going to see Tillman out there with Cole Dubois.
Yeah, just under 2 minutes to go here. So
Mock's getting some of the newer legs out here, just trying to get them involved in the game. As Donnelly's going to send that one back, trying to test some new power play lines. As Cole Dubois sends it across to Kaden Williams. It just gets lost in his skates, goes all the way to the boards, and then he takes a hit, but it goes across to Catazone. Catazone had the puck almost stripped away by Duham, but Catazone now skating up with it. He skates it along the board, tried to flip it through the crease, but nobody was there. Good job there by the Ice Bulls, keeping it out wide, and Donnelly almost gave the puck to Duham, but able to recover and find that one. Tillman chasing after it. He's checked into the boards, but Williams comes away with the puck, and he shoots. And a pad saved by Coate. Catazone now with it. Cole Dubois. Now Williams battling for it. Took a weird bounce there on the Zamboni entrance. Minute 7 left to go. Power play has been killed off by USF, and now Mudge drops it back for Konigsmark, and good job defensively by Catazone. Duham trying to skate in, and he takes a hit. Tried to find the puck as he was going down. Tillman there. And that one's flipped out by the Mocs. 47 seconds left to go. USF looking to get some more shots, and that one's saved by Cribbs. Goes out to the corner as Uric has it. He's knocked off the puck by Oken. Comes out to the blue line, shot around the boards. Down low for Curran. Curran skating along the blue line. A quick shot. Didn't get quite as much on that. Now Max Mudge down low. Kicks it down low, trying to go for a return pass, but a good job there by Oken. Laying a hit on Curran. Now Max Mudge with it. He fires it. Cribbs with a save. Another shot. Saved by Cribbs. That one's sent around the boards. Out to the blue line. Shot, save. Another shot by Uric. Save. That one's off of Mox, and that will do it. USF is going to take the game on the road. 8-3 here at Lakeland Ice Arena. Noah, what did you like from the Bulls in this game that allowed them to get the win?
I mean, they were just playing with speed, and they were supporting the puck all night long. You know, they were pressured by Florida Southern. You know, we saw that, you know, a couple of turnovers, but whenever they got the puck and they were pressured, someone was there to dump the puck off to. And yeah, it's a complete team game from the Ice Bulls.
Yeah, both teams played a good game, had good pressure, and I like the physicality from both teams. Neither team let it really get out of hand. We've seen matchups between these two teams get out of hand, filling up the penalty sheet, but that was not one of them, as both teams will go through the handshake line. So the Bulls do come out on top in this ACHA M3 matchup in a College Hockey South Conference matchup. The Mocs will be on the road next weekend for a doubleheader against Miami. Another M3 division.
Yeah, and USF, couple of weeks off where they'll take on Tampa second weekend of February 7th, against the Tampa M3 squad. So a couple of good matchups for both teams coming up here in the coming weeks.
Yeah, and we can't talk about the USF Ice Bulls without talking about Max Mudge. He was all over it. He was looking for the Hattie in the final shift, but gets 2 goals. And in my opinion, he was the player of the game. He was all over the ice, making big plays for the Ice Bulls.
Yeah, Mudge, as well as that top line with Jace Konigsmark, he was all over the ice. We were saying his name all night long, and he was an impact player for the Ice Bulls.
A great effort by the Mocs tonight. Obviously, we talked about it, had to travel back from Jacksonville, so they played a strong game despite having a late night last night. Thank you guys so much for joining us on the Southern Hockey Network as the Ice Bulls take this one 8-3. Have a great night.